Okay. Please, do you understand to this point? Do you understand the count? Do you understand the count?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in HTML, if you want to create a hidden input, you do input and then you do type is equal to hidden. So now we've created a hidden input that is going to enable us store the value of the count. So we are going to use this ID here to call the value so that we get it in our JS. So in our JS, we will just do this. We are going to get the value, right? So then we do .val. Then we do, yes, we do .val. Then we do I++. So this is going to be our for loop. Do you understand the for loop?
Yes, for the for loop, I understand.
Good. All right. Now, so all that we need is one of this. Let's see how to make it that. I'm looking at something here. This is going to make we need to collapse something here. We need to collapse something here. Now, watch this. We are going to do the routing here. Okay. Okay, so let's define the form data here. And then we create the form data directly in the loop. So all these guys will go. And then we okay. So now the key, this key is also going to change. The key for the programs in the Ajax is going to change. All right. So now let's come here. So now we are going to get the values for for the inputs, for the input checkbox. So hospitality depth 1, hospitality depth 2. Now, why should we use hospitality here? Let's
Yeah, I was coming to even ask.
let's use prog.
Department.
Let's call it, okay, let's call it prog depth. Yeah. So we are going to do this. Prog depth, then we append the iteration, the 1 to it. Then over here, we do the same. Then the number of staff 2, we do the same. Oh, Ben, does it make sense? Hello, Ben.
Prof.
Does it make sense? No, it doesn't.
But I'm
we,
confused.
there's a problem here. So here we have to call the, we are going to call the, we should call the value. So in this instance, the key is going to be, the key and the value is going to be the same for easy identification in the processor. So we are going to do this. The key is going to be this. No, it's not going to be the same. The key is going to be this. For the training programs, let's do it like this. Prog 1 I, then we get the value of then we append I to it like this to get the value. So the same for the number of staff. Now, is it clear? Hello, Ben.
Prof.
Is it clear?
For the why is it that you are using the hash for the append, you are using the hash, but here no, for the hotel name and those things, no, we don't use the hash. We use the hash only in the distance for the variables.
Okay, so in HTML or in jQuery, if you are getting the value of an input, you use hash. Because if you are getting the ID, you getting a value of an input with the ID, you use hash. So
okay.
here,
But
so here we use hash of that, then we append 1 to it. We append I. I is the I over here in the loop. So it's going to give us the value of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So same for the number of staff. Yeah. And then over here, the keys, that one we use prog. So we are going to get prog 1, prog 2, prog 3, just like that. Then the number of staff to, yeah. All right. So here we have dynamically generated our form values here, our form data here. Now let's go to the top and see what happens there. What is the purpose of this? Of this department IDs? What is the purpose in an array? What's the purpose? Hello, Ben.
Prof.
What was the purpose of the department IDs here?
For this one,
Mhm.
when you, let's say, I don't know how to.
Nchiremu. Okay, let's try to. Okay, I can see that you are iterating through the department IDs here.
Yes.
So in each iteration, you append department to the ID and then you get the element. So all that you are doing is you are getting the values of the departments and then storing it in this checkbox array here. Hello?
Hello, Prof.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So you are doing two things here. Here, you are getting the values of the departments. You are getting the values of the department here. And then here you are getting values of the number of staff here. Okay. This structure is going to change. We are going to change the structure. We are going to change this structure. Okay. Let me take the whole thing off here. You have it, so that's not a challenge. Okay, let me just copy the whole thing and put it somewhere. Okay. So over here, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, over here, we have to know which checkboxes are checked, which of the programs are selected. And we have to get the corresponding values for the number of staff. Is that not it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is how we are going to do it. First, we are going to initiate the checking of the boxes and then get values for the programs that are selected. Okay. So we will put I'm coming. Let me get let me do some copy and paste here. Checkbox We are going to write a very intelligent code. All right. I'm coming in. Let me just clear this, guys. Okay. So one, we need this. We need a checkbox trigger. We need to write a trigger in our JS that will sense when a checkbox is ticked. When a checkbox is ticked, then we get the corresponding value of the checkbox and then store it in an array. Now, when you get a corresponding, when you get a when we know the checkbox that is ticked, we'll be able to know the number of staff. So the moment you tick, then the number of staff, we add a class to it. We add a required class so that it will be compulsory for the user to enter a value. So this is what we are going to do. First, we need something like a click listener for the checkboxes. Okay, so let's do a similar thing like this here. Now we need to give the checkbox, the input here, we need to give it a class. So we'll be able to identify it. Let's call it CHKB box. Okay. Are you here? Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's try this. Perfect. So now we can sense our clicks. Okay. Now let's take this guy off. Yeah. And let's see something. Perfect. Good. Okay. So now, okay. So now that's what we are going to do. When we click, we have to know which checkbox or which program we've clicked. So let's do this. Let's try this. Alerts, and then we do this .var. So what it means is that when we click, we are going to alert the value of the checkbox, the value of the checkbox we've clicked. Okay. So let's click and see. I say undefined index C code online 102. Okay, there is an error somewhere. 102. 102 here. I mean, undefined index code. You're saying the code is undefined. Which code? This code. Row code. Don't we have code here? Aha, it's P code, not code. This should be P code. Okay. So now when we click, perfect, we can get the program code, the P code, which is the program code. Yes. All right. Now, the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to make define a class for the inputs, the number of staff. So that when the user click a program, we make the number of staff for that program compulsory. So that this how we are going to do that. Let's add a class here. Let's call it CLNO staff, like this. Okay. All right. So when you click this, when you check this, Benny, are you here?
Yes, Prof, I'm here.
Okay. Benjamin. Ben, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I think this session will be ending very soon, less than a minute.
Okay. Ben, we'll create the last one, the last session, and then we close for the day. I'm looking at something here.
Prof. Sorry. Sorry, idea.